your head, or your occiput, connects with your atlas. There's a little gap. So when you palpate the neck and you go to where you feel the highest vertebrae, that vertebrae is, especially if you can feel a gap on the superior side of it, it's probably C2. Gosh, words come here. It's probably C2 because the gap between the occiput and the atlas are really, really small. But we can manipulate the atlas by putting my fingers in that gap, because I know between C2 and the occiput is C1. So just here, and then I'm going to position my fingers vertically, and I have them on the occiput bone so I can rock it back and dip into here. And then it's just a hold. It's a myofascial hold. So I'm holding, my pressure is kind of just up maybe a little bit towards me. Does that feel okay? Because that tissue is so thick and so tight and so tough, especially when you're just getting started with the tissue. So I'm gonna hold it. Usually only takes like 30 seconds. It's already starting to soften.
I can feel it.
So 30 seconds to a minute, just to kind of introduce my touch. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, we're about to do some stuff. All right, and then I like to start to rock. So I'm going to pull with my right trigger fingers, and then I'm going to pull with my left ones. So this is just kind of little like rocking back and forth. And so with my fingers, now that I'm in that groove, I can.
Very subtle.
And you'll feel as you do that, the tissue will start to stretch, start to warm, and that gap will feel deeper. And you can get your fingers in there more. So we're just gently going into that space. And then it's just pull. And you can start off slow. And then I like to as it softens, I like to travel laterally with my fingers, just to warm up that whole ridge underneath the occiput. Yeah? So, and once you get that warmed up, you can do like 2 or so passes with that, just to play with it. But then once it's warmed up, I can press my fingers up even more, just to keep softening, keep peeling back those layers. And then as the tissue warms up and loosens and softens and gets more malleable, I like to make my movements bigger, so I can get more of that tissue that's now moving, that wasn't moving before, and I can really take it to its limit of movement. And then all the way, so our temporal bone with the ear hole is right here. So we want to go all the way back to the mastoid process. And really thinking, trying to create movement, what am I trying to say? Trying to free the skull. Trying to free the skull of the neck, which sounds brutal. That's not exactly. Trying to free the movement of the skull to be able to move in these subtle rocking, tilting, tipping motions. But if all of the muscles are tight and bracing it, it doesn't get to do. Great. Let's play with that.